Here, in the time of earthquake in April 25, almost monuments from the Patan Darbar Square are fully damaged and partially damaged. Yeah, and that you see here in front of me, that's last row, yeah, what we call Vincent Temple, which was built in 1680. It was totally damaged during the earthquake, and this temple dedicated to Lord Vishnu, what we call Tsar Narayan temple. And this temple, it was built in 1564 AD. And this is the one of the oldest temple in this whole Patan Darbar Square.
So, Ravi, we're calling our documentary Piles of Bricks because the bricks tell lots of stories. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about these bricks.
These bricks came from the various temples of this Patan Darbar Square after the earthquake. Yeah? And not only the bricks, you can see that's our roof also. You see in the bottom part of that piles of bricks over there.
The tiles.
That's the bottom, that's the tiles, yeah. The process is going in for the conservation of this whole Patan Darbar Square, yeah. So I think that in the Patan Darbar Square, that's the one INGO, what we call Kathmandu Valley Preservation Trust. And that's Kathmandu Valley Preservation Trust headquarters is in New York, in United States. And here is the regional office in Patan Darbar Square. And I think that they plan to conserve almost monuments in this Patan Darbar Square. And they are in process for approval from the government of Nepal.
Oh, it's the Kathmandu Valley Preservation Trust. It was first registered in US in the state Massachusetts. As I said, it was established by our professor. And even though earthquake destroyed some of the valuable monuments, but we still have artifacts stored in the storeroom that can be reused while rebuilding it. So this is a good positive point of our monuments, we can reuse. Although some of the artifacts are damaged, but we can retrofit it, repair it. Actually, basically it depends on really funding. Without fund, we can't move because materials are expensive, and as I said, that our monuments need timber, and timber is very expensive nowadays. So I can see how many years it will take, but we are proposing governments for 5 years period for the monuments that we have selected with our own, with its importance, not our own will, but it's important. So solely it will depend on fundings, how much time it will take.
Okay, Ravi, so where are we going now?
We are going to see the inner part of Patan Royal Palace. Yeah, according to your concept of piles of bricks, Tulja Bhavani Temple, yeah, inside the Patan Royal Palace, dedicated to Tulja Bhavani. And it was partially, it's the roof damage during the April 25 earthquake. And some rumble from that upper portion of the temple is just, yeah, slipped down. After earthquake, within 10 minutes, yeah, we are in the Patan Darbar Square. We seized the Patan Darbar Square, and nobody allowed to get inside because of these artifacts. Yeah.
So, how are things in the Patan Darbar Square compared to last year when we were here?
They are coming up good, and we have good donors who are supporting our cause, and that's why you will see the most of the changes or the progress of the work that we have been doing with our monuments. The projects that we chose after the earthquake have been coming up gradually as donors are supporting us. Like in the Patan Darbar Square, you can see most of the monuments that were very weakened by the earthquake have been scaffolded for the restoration work. And other temples which totally collapsed is we are checking the condition of the foundation, how they are and what we need to do. So they are coming up good.
Right. Does the trust receive any help from the government?
It's tough thing to say that it's slow. Help is very slow. We wanted quick response from them, but the paperwork are so much that we have to go to so many ministries that it takes time, like for about a year. So this Yagunarendra statue pillar is being restored with the support of University of Applied Arts, Vienna. And as you see there, we are yet to have installed the Yagunarendra King statue and the Queen. And this will be completed in February 2017.
So supposedly there have been $4 billion that has been either given or pledged to Nepal for the earthquake relief. Has the trust seen any of that amount of money?
I think those billions of rupees offered by different donors are bilateral and that are through government to government. So those monies are basically for supporting the affected peoples and building their shade, and not for probably monuments first priority. The stone carvers and the wood carvers are working right here in the site for this Harishankar temple. You see these stones are basically the main threshold stones that are damaged in the top plinth are being replaced. Basically, if there is little damage, we can do retrofit or like just replace the parts with new one for that, and again make a replicate carving.
And you've got Nepalis
Yes,
rebuilding
yes, all Nepalese.
Nepal.
All people who do carving, wood carving, stone carving, masons, laborers, all Nepali.
You're not sending this out.
They come from this Harishankara temple, and that will be reused for this same temple.
You're just saving them. What are these ladies doing?
They are cleaning those bricks that are in the past repaired with some cement patching or whatever. So they are trying to remove cement patches,
All by hand.
all by hand.
Please.
These ladies are cleaning the black paint applied by government agencies to protect the timber.
Oh.
But we want to clean it because we want to show the original color of the carved elements. Now, according to the funds coming in slowly, I think we could manage it by 2020.
Here's the Stone Temple you took us through.
Yeah, last year we talked about
Gate.
this
Stone Gate.
Yeah, it was just renovated by Kathmandu Valley Preservation Trust before earthquake.
And before this wall with the gate was in very poor condition with more of the trash, where you can see the mark of the trash still now inside. So that's why we had to change the wall plates that were destroyed by the weight. So later we had to build this wall and even the gates properly, and cleaning these amazing statues over here. They were being painted with black, maybe tar or whatever. So we had to remove it with laser light. And that was the machine was brought from Italy, so much damage didn't happen, but slightly. So we want to tell people that buildings need repair on time.
Time by time.
Are you saying this was repaired by the KVPT
Yeah, before earthquake.
before the earthquake?
Before the earthquake, all 3 wings were restored by KBP.
I see. So you had already done all of this.
Yes.
Then the earthquake hit.
Yes.
Then you had to come back and restore all this.
Yes.
And now you still have a crack that you're leaving.
Yes.
Just to show.
Exactly.
Because you had repaired this.
Yes.
But it doesn't.
So if it hadn't been repaired, you'd have had to rebuild this whole place perhaps.
Exactly.
So, Susan, how old is this house?
This house is all more than 335 years old. More than 335. Yeah.
And so, tell us about this room. You were just pointing out
Yeah,
before the
sure.
earthquake.
Actually, the room where we are standing right now is the kitchen before earthquake. Okay, this is the kitchen. There is a, the ancient kitchen. The layout of kitchen is here, right below this table. Okay, we according in our language we call putu. Okay, putu mean in our typical in our Nevari language putu, and this space is used to have a dining room, we can say. The wooden log is there just moving around from here and there. Okay, so little bit the walls are going become cracked. Okay, see, you can see here these walls are cracked after the earthquake.
And so, why don't you use it anymore? As a kitchen?
Actually, it's little bit dangerous to stay here because the aftershock is going on and on. Okay, the aftershock and the old house is little bit difficult to stay in upstairs also. It's taking all the time. And this you can see the blue plastic in upstairs. Actually, we just cover the roof. Okay, cover the roof so that it will be safe at the time of raining season also. This house belongs to the priest of this temple. And this temple is the Vimsen temple. And Vimsen is the god of business. Story of Harisankar temple, and you can see now it's completely well renovated, right? Within 2 or 3 years after the earthquake, and this temple was the first renovated temple after the earthquake. This 2 stories temple is dedicated to the Lord Vishnu. Tsar Narayan's, okay, the name of this temple is the Tsar Narayan's. You can see this is a Krishna temple. This temple was not fully damaged by the earthquake. The partial, the walls are damaged by the earthquake. Okay, the staircase are damaged by the earthquake, and this temple was also rebuilt by the KVPD. Okay, within 1 year, it's completely done.
So basically, the projects that Kathmandu Valley Preservation Trust chose after the devastating earthquake of 2015, we are able to accomplish the target of monuments that can be restored or rebuilt on time. So I think we have done 90% of the work that we scheduled for 5 years, but we completed within 4 years' time in Patan Darbar Square, as well as some projects in Kathmandu Darbar Square also. It was just on January 29, 2020, on Wednesday, we consecrated the temple after rebuilding.
Which temple?
Charnaran temple. That was restored in the storeroom at the archaeological garden behind the Royal Palace complex after properly repaired or damaged parts being replicated to its surrounding figures to match. It was included in our project list as technical support only. So we wanted that project to be done with the local support from the local community, especially like for businessmen of Nepal and metropolitan city of Lalitpur and local peoples. We want them to rebuild. And we wanted to support them with technically how we worked on other projects of ours. Because there are no such good technical people involved with other buildings. That was because everybody has their essence, or the businessman's god is Vimsen. So there are many businessmen who are already supporting that project, and I think it's more than 50% of the funding has been already raised.
The renovation is start, and the bricks are going to take it first out. All this, yeah, we need to take all these bricks, all these wooden log, we should take out first, and then going to reuse it again. Most of the people, they donate how much they can. Okay, financially, morally, physically. They are donating to rebuild this temple.
Yes, this is what people need actually, and this is what government was supposed to do, implementing or deploying the right persons to the right construction monuments. Yeah, so like out of Patan Darbar Square, you can also see same work not happening, like going slow. It's because it's given to contractors. It's bidded, and contractors they don't know anything about restoration of monuments, how to preserve, how to work, and they don't have much manpower too. So, uh, although many of the projects were seen good and looking, but 2015's earthquakes showed which were good or bad. Yeah,
Where's your funding come from?
it comes from around the world. Even Nepali businessmen, Nepali corporate house is involved, and it's a U.S. Ambassador Fund for Cultural Preservation, and German embassy also involved. British embassy is private foundations like Gerda Henkel Foundation in Germany, and there are many more in private institutions, private people, locals, everywhere.
Yeah, sure.
The Bhimsen temple was weak before the earthquake also.
So before the earthquake was weak.
Yes, like it was tilting towards east, and it was more weak after the earthquake. So that had to be, basically we say most of them had to be rebuilt, because first floor level is tilted like more than 4 inch or more than that. So that's why we have to rebuild it, and we have to take care of foundation also. We checked and we figured out that surrounding brick masonry foundation is not enough, so we had to add more surrounding.
Now we are in front of the Bhimsen temple. Okay, this was also damaged, not completely damaged by the earthquake. Little bit, the surrounding walls are damaged, the staircase was damaged, and the KPPD is under construction about this temple. If the condition of the walls are good or not, we already checked the condition of the walls of the below. Now it's already checked, and we are going to manage it again. We are in the left side of the Bhimsen temple right now, okay, and the main wooden log of this left part of this temple was literally damaged. It was cracked by the earthquake. The main wooden log, the big wooden log was damaged. That's why we need to take all the bricks out from the wall. We need to repair this. We need to change the wooden log. That's why we are going to take all the stones, I mean all the bricks one by one outside, and we are going to reuse the brick, not that same broken wooden log. We can reuse the bricks only. See, we are here. We are just checking the basement of the temple. Basement, the underground of the temple. Is the walls are good or not? Is it in the good condition or not? What's the condition of the temple? Is below the ground level. What's the condition? We are just going to check, and it's already done. Now we are rearranging the
How old are
ground
these
level.
bricks?
Yeah.
How old are these bricks?
These all are the temple at the time of temple. When the temple was built, the same bricks at the same time. It's the end of the 17th century.
So there is not proper categorized system to whom to give, which type of contractor. Yeah. So now the project has been given to even road builders and concrete builders also, and so they can do anything for the monuments. Yeah, because they have no knowledge. So we plan to continue same as we did in the past for the monuments. So still we are figuring out more monuments to be restored. When you get hurt, and like they want to give right away. Yeah, but earthquake is gone. Is 4 years. Hard time for getting funds.
Right.
So but still we'll try our best to do more projects and get more fundings, appeal for the donors around the world.
Were you at all worried, like perhaps that your house might be destroyed or perhaps that the church building might not be safe?
That time is I not a worry. I know on my house this is gone. This house is 40 years ago the build. This one not strong.
Have you seen any help from the Nepali government?
Yes, little bit. Government decide 2 lakh free help to distribute houses. And now 15,000 they give.
And here you're actually you're making tea. And
That is temporary cooking. In Nepal, border is sealed, and after they not give gas and petrol, and that is problem.
So, how are things compared to last year when we were here?
Last year is in Nepal situation disaster, and all the house is gone. My house is also gone. Now small one house is built temporarily. बाहिर त त्यति कुराहरू भएको छैन.
Nothing much has been done by the government. Some places government gave 50,000, but here in city they haven't given. Many have solved their problem by themselves.
आफ्नो समस्याहरू समाधान गरेको छ.
How exactly did you accomplish the rebuilding of the structure?
सबैले सहायता गर्यो.
Everybody helped us. It was hard for the children as well. So church member helped us to bring down the house, which was hard. Only thing which was very hard for me was for my children, because we were outside in the tarpaulin and it was raining as well.
बच्चाहरू सानो सानो थियो, बाहिर पालमा पानी परेको थियो, त्यहाँ बस्दाखेरि गाह्रो भयो.
So as I recall, last year there was no ceiling.
Yeah.
There might have been like half a wall.
Yeah.
Nothing, not much, right? How did you do this?
These windows are whole house window, and this is putting in here.
Yeah.
My idea.
Your idea.
Temporarily we are making, and when we have a window, we use same window,
with
brick walls, and this is roof. This is also wood. Old house.
This is the old beams from the old house.
Yeah.
But this is where you used to make your tea, as I recall, right?
Yeah.
And you used to do all your cooking.
We have too much woods, and we are using for cooking and that. Because that time India blocked border, and gas is shortage, and that is a blessing for disaster also. Wood is we have.
When we left in November,
Yeah.
it was pretty bad then. But the blockade kept going. How did it get, after a few more months of that? Did it stay about the same, get worse? Or?
Okay.
Yeah, we were using the woods at the time also. Because because of this house, we had extra wood with us, so we use it for cooking.
And you didn't burn down the...
No. We just separated the good woods and the
bad.
Yeah, and we use the bad wood for cooking.
We also gave our woods to others so that they can use it for cooking.
Well, this is my place. This used to be my place. This used to be my house. Well, when I actually usually come here, things get a little emotional because, like, I spent my whole life till now here, and then so after first shake, everybody we went out to sleep at night, and then our eating, our staying, everything was outside the house, not inside the house, because no one dared to come inside, and because like the mini shakes were going on. Probably those people who are like, kind of little bit rich, yeah, they have already rebuilt their houses. But the people who are still poor, who cannot rebuild their houses, they are still same condition.
Last time we were here, all of this was brick.
And then we kind of built our shelter for ourselves.
Tell us a little bit.
Yes, probably last time we came, we were standing right here. I don't know, these piles were a bit that side. So like, these are the same piles. They're no different. It's just that, yeah, some of my old stuff, they're over, they're piled up here. My old oven, they're all piled up here just because they don't work anymore. It's like
my certificate, my letter, cook.
So, were you worried at all about if your house was going to be destroyed?
Yes, we were scared, what happened to our families, relatives. We are secured, but we don't know anything about our friends, relatives. At that moment, our cell phone also doesn't work. We tried to contact everybody, but we couldn't.
Yeah, it's a very difficult for us because we make our own home. Maybe it's a government planned to give to loan for the 2%. 2% they are give to loan for, but why when? Because I don't know. Because yesterday also I'm going to the Metropolitan City Office, when they told me maybe it's a 1 year, 2 year, or 3 year, maybe 5 years, but when? Actually, we don't.
Oh, Amish, how are you?
Yeah, good. Good to see you again. Yeah.
It's been about a year, maybe a little more than a year, since we saw you at the recreation center in at the place you were staying in Lalapur, Kathmandu. Tell us about your new place.
This time we called to Dhabakel. The last time saw me in the old house when before earthquake. Then after moving here, so we don't have any plan to make a big house. We make a small one, like a temporary. Then after, actually we don't have a money. Actually, we don't have a money. So I'm a one pastor, and then I believe to God. To God, we pray. God see everything. So we pray. So we stay to fasting, all family. Then we pray together. Then God provide, little bit help also. Then we have our own money. So we spend here to make a beautiful home.
So you brought the old bricks to build this?
Yes. Yeah,
sure
it's all bricks. Then this one you can see the old. This one is all wood.
So there's the old doors.
Yeah, old doors. So
have you gotten any help at all from the government? When I say at all, I mean in addition to the 25,000 rupees.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen any of the 2 lakhs or any?
No. The government gave us the first one 10,000. Then after 15,000 we take it. Then after we don't take anything for government.
Are you expecting anything?
No, I don't expecting for our government because it's a hopeless maybe.
And the loans you talked about last year.
Yes.
You were a little frustrated, I think, because you couldn't get any information. Are they any action on that from the government, like providing loans?
No,
nothing.
Actually, all the victim is a hopeless about the government. So they don't expect to government give us to loan like that blah blah blah, but they don't do anything. It's very hard for us because first of all, after earthquake, so we lost everything. Then after is a take a few months, we are struggling. Actually, the earthquake, after earthquake, the people is so worried about because they are lost everything. So he make a plan to how can we make our own building again. They are struggling. They are to collect the money. They're like that. They are so struggling. They don't care about the road. They need to make a home, then stay to quietly. The individual people cannot make the road. They are making own home.
Yeah.
I think the whole valley is going well. I see all the victims, the earthquake victims. They are doing very well. Yeah. They are not sad, so they are so happy to he make own houses like that. There is more process. The more process, then we don't care about the 3 lakh. Then we can we can make this building. Maybe it's to take more lakhs. The process is so long, so it's the headache. So I'm going there. I'm set up everything now. I'm okay.
Yeah.
My life is going on.
Right.
Our local community moved to another place. That is not safety because that one is a city. There is no place to again, the earthquake is coming. Then there is no way to running the another place. That's why the people is thinking now we can move. Now I'm here, so sometimes I'm uncomfortable because why I'm comfortable because sitting, then sleeping, the area, the environment is okay, but the transportations and the marketing, going to buy market is very far. When you take my interview first time in local community, we are more expect from government. Now, actually, I don't say anything for government because they are not satisfying for all the victims. Now, in my view, I don't say anything because we don't expect anything from government. So we can do our own.
I think last time we were here, you didn't have a roof.
Yeah, last time you see here, actually we have a footage. We don't have a roof, and we don't have this wall. We don't have this one.
Now we are going to go interview the Miss. Yes, you. It's time for you.
Where were you during the earthquake?
I'm in church. I'm praying dust. This is my playground kitchen.
Oh, I see. We've been sitting in your playground.
Well, it's a small town, and nothing like no major damage happened during the earthquake. So only a couple of houses down the road, and most of it still standing and strong. We're in this area called Dhobigat. So I think previously it used to be this laundry town where people used to come and do their laundries. But now it has changed, and people from all sorts of background and live here.
What is their primary religion?
Hindu mostly. There are a few Christians and Buddhist as well. Most of the houses here are pretty strong. And the house that we're living in right now was built by my grandfather. So he built it from scratch, and he was an engineer, so he paid a lot of attention in, making this house strong. And this house is structurally very sound, and it can resist up to 9 Richter earthquake. Okay, this particular area is an urban area, so everyone has houses made out of bricks and cement, concrete, so these houses are pretty strong. In contrast to the rural areas where houses are mostly made out of stones and mud, So I think that's where the difference is. And the houses here are still standing strong because they're structurally really sound. So mostly people living in urban areas are educated. They have a settled job. They earn quite a good amount of money. So that is how it's possible to make strong houses.
What did you do?
I was in the kitchen, and then I think I was just walking by. So that's when the shaking happened. So yeah, I just ran for cover, just under those pillars there.
Under the pillars.
Yeah.
You know, if we look around, what do we see?
Mostly we're in Lalitpur. So that area is Kathmandu.
So how are things?
Yeah, I've just been renovating the house. I think after the earthquake, I've been working on fixing things and stuff. So I've been doing that. Yeah.
And the town is all recovered, it seems, for the most part.
Yeah.
Looks like they're replacing sidewalks and.
Mostly in Kathmandu, like most of the things are rebuilding, and then
we're wondering where the $4 billion is that the world has promised to Nepal. We're not sure we're seeing it, and most people don't tell us they've received much of it. But of course, we have a very small sample. You have any thoughts on that?
I don't know. I don't know where the money went. And then I've heard and seen, people complain about things on not receiving the fund for their houses and stuff. But I don't know.
Do you think it went, or it just hasn't gone?
I'm not sure, because no one has, told us where the money is. So I think the money went.
This was also destroyed. There were a lot of cracks, and it's almost totally done. And that part also totally done. There was a crack. You see, totally done. Done one, and there on the construction, this was totally destroyed, top to the bottom, and it's all in the process already. It will take time though, because there are a lot of situations in Nepal, a lot of political change, different movement change, So it takes a little time.
You gotta do it just right.
Well, in one mind, we could say thank God, but in other hand, you cannot even thank God in that situation, right? Everybody was crying, everybody is yelling, and you could see only dust in the sky. I should say, in this part of the world, most of the governments are irresponsible. If it's not too extreme to say, it's too slow. And political parties, they need to be the actor in rescue, relief, and rebuilding, whatever. And the worldwide community was here in the other hand and pledging so much of money. I think they came with this kind of humanitarian heart, and they did not wait for government permission. Some of them, they just went and started working. And later on, government started questioning why you are here. This is our country. And they had to go through the formal procedure. I'm not just blaming those people that they do not have heart or no, but the system is not working. Our system is too corrupt. I think all $4 billion has not come. Some are still waiting that government will bring up a good project and they will do, because these are all pledged, right? So no cash was delivered at the time. It came. And some of the projects like international development agencies, they are spending those projects with local NGO partnership. So it's too slow, and they are fighting for who will get the credit. I think there is no other reason to fight or do slow. So this is the situation going on. And what I could say is that out of those 4 billion, maybe some money is still waiting, that they will see.
Maybe some, but not most.
Not most, maybe some.
You're saying that most of the 4 billion has been spent?
No. Most of the 4 billion is not spent.
What? Because that's a lot of money.
Government fund. It's still in government fund.
It's in a bank account somewhere.
If you say not only $4 billion, even here, in-house, there was a lot of money was raised here.
within the country. And we have in Prime Minister's account.
Prime Minister's
Yes,
account.
yes. Yeah, there is a Prime Minister's account, not his personal. But
Is that transparent?
Well, I cannot claim.
I mean, can the government do they publish a budget?
Yes.
Is that okay? In this account is.
That's the problem. That's the problem. That's what my complaint is. Government is not transparent, not serious.
This would seem to be a good issue for you to run on.
Yes, yeah, that's why we are here. That's why we are here. Yeah, it's going around. Particularly, we have now 3 layers of government: local, federal, and in between there is provincial government. And each government is more generous towards development now, infrastructure, road, bridges, and this kind of development works are going around the country. And huge investment is going towards that area. Because everybody wants road and everybody wants the good infrastructure or nice electricity or something, or whatever they could access of development. I don't know. Somehow people are making good lives here, in particularly in the cities like Kathmandu and other cities.
Yeah.
But the life is still the same in the villages, rural area. They are unreached in so many ways. Education, health, sanitation, and these things are not being reached there. Government is doing their part, but somehow it is lengthy, slow, and corruption is rampant. So these are the things we really need to fight against. So these are the things, but we are still dreaming that Nepal would be self-sustained, reliable country one day. As of now, most of the NGOs, those who are really working into community level, they are doing good. Because they are there, they know the community, the lives of community. In general, if we put the scale of 10, maybe 90% of people are back to their houses. Some of the houses are retrofitted, some of the houses are not, but they don't have other choice. So they are still living in the same house which were damaged by the earthquake. The government effort towards the damages, how they are rebuilding and how the things are going. Particularly the public sectors to provide services and rebuilding efforts to help people to rebuild their house. It's somehow, maybe we can say 80% is done, but still there are some issues going on. Just day before yesterday, I was listening one notice that comes from rebuilding committee that government runs. They were announcing that those people who haven't received the support from government need to go hurry and claim their portion. But still, there are some issues going on. But in a way, earthquake damages was happened to those who had, right? But most affected are those who didn't have. Those who were most affected, they still have the same house standing and they have built another new house, right? But those did not have money. Somehow they are living in that same house. You will see around the city, even the villages, because they didn't have the money. Still they don't have. So they are managing their lives, even in that cracked house. So they are living there. So this is the situation over here. I think government had to do the fair job and at least continue to make sure that everybody would have the safe place to live.
About the history of this place, the community here are very old. This Harsidi is very rich for its culture who are affected by the earthquake. They have been supported by different NGOs and INGOs. We are trying to prepare a vision of this place. For now, some brothers who are studying engineer, their brothers are helping us. About the people over here, they are based on agriculture, but now the new generation are getting their education and getting jobs. But we are all one tribes, that is Mahajan. But now since 10 to 15 years, different tribes are migrating here. About the religion, mainly it's Hindu. But now there are other religions like Buddhism, Jesus. And after I also saw the houses falling down, and then I alone visit the whole village and found out that people were trapped inside and dead. So we took them out and gathered them in one place. In that time there was terror in everybody, and we were outside, don't have anything for temporary shelter. So for that night, whatever we get, we collected and spent night outside. So then next day we established the disaster management community and started to work and found out that 24 people were dead.
Do you see the bamboo tent over there?
Yeah.
I think they are living over there right now.
Yeah. Well, each of these corrugated structures has a family in it, probably, right?
Think that it would take 1 or 2 months for rebuilding. Just I have mentioned, we don't want to have any problem because of the roads and the doors. Before we only heard about the earthquake from our elders, but now we did experienced. So we don't want to ignore this and want to be prepared for the future. That's why even it may take a time, we want to be secured. This is a huge planning and it's very hard to implement, so may take maximum 5 years. Also people may be in the same place or may build a good temporary shelters that we will be visiting, which is provided by some organization. I don't remember the name. It's all about the budget, so this may be like 2 years. We have God Harisiddhi and goddess Trisiddhi Mai, which is brought from Fulsaki and established here. So because of God Harisiddhi, this place is known over Nepal, and we have a big festival here in every 12 years.
So tell us about the living goddess, right? As I remember it, they find a young girl who's like fierce looking.
Yeah, right? Fierce looking, and she has to come from a certain family chain, and then she has to, she can't have any cuts or bruises on her from childhood, and that's how they select, and then they do, rituals and stuff like that, and they make her.
We were here about a year ago talking with your father, so we're back wanting to see what changes have made. So as we're walking in here, I just noticed this place. Can you? It looks new. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, this building was built after the earthquake, Then the person who built this building, his home is cracked.
Right. So how much would a building like this cost? Would you say roughly?
Exactly, I don't know how much it will go. I think its cost will be from underground to this first floor. I think 6-7 lakh.
6 or 7 lakh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
They have been so old, It is not able to stay there in this house, so they stay here from that side, that house. I think they will use these bricks, the materials which are for the reuses.
It doesn't look like they've touched it. Have they? We've met others. We've met others that didn't want to touch it until the government gave them rebuilding funds. Otherwise, the government might not give them rebuilding funds. You see that?
Yeah, some people have used the money that the 25,000 that give by the government, and some people have not used in the right way. I think they have another house, so they have no interest in that they rebuild.
Do either of you know anyone that has received the 2 lakhs?
Till now, no one have received 2 lakhs.
I thought there was. We read some press in the United States that some had been distributed. Have you seen anyone?
No.
It's in process, but
The government not declared that the government will give in this in that
particular time.
I think maybe what I read was that they were getting ready to disperse money in like May, that it was coming.
Maybe.
I think
Paperwork's
going on, and the government have not declared the fixed time we will give. Sir had already told that in the May, the government will give. I think let's hope for if we get then.
If people are living in them, did somebody say it's safe?
I think the engineers who come after the earthquake, they have checked the house, which has left, which are not destroyed by the earthquake. Some engineers said it is not able to stay.
Yeah,
it's danger to stay, but the people have no option to leave. If they have leave that house, then they have to stay outside of staying this home cottage they have to build. So they have stayed in that house.
So even if it might not be the safest house, they're living in it.
Yeah.
So they don't have to live in the shelters. Yeah.
These are the records for the victims of April 2015 earthquake.
12 गतेको भूकम्पबाट जुन भूकम्प पीडितहरू हुनुहुन्छ उहाँहरूको यो रेकर्ड हो त्यो हेर्दैछु 252 average.
As a government, you're looking at both as individuals.
Yeah.
Are these people that died or just people that were affected?
No. Only 24 people are died.
Yeah. I see. So these 250 plus.
Yeah.
What is the government doing for them?
Nowadays, only 10,000 and 15,000 only they give them. Nowadays,
Government decided to provide 3 lakh Nepali rupees, but government is not providing those who don't have title deeds, which is being an issue.
लिस्टमा नाम भएको तर चाहिँ पूर्जा नभएको लाल पूर्जा नभएको हकमा चाहिँ यो एग्रीमेन्टको लागि गभर्नमेन्टले नट अलाउड गरेको छ के त्यसमा अलिकति चाहिँ यहाँ समस्या भइरहेको अवस्था छ.
Where's the government getting the money?
यो सहयोग चाहिँ अब यो विदेशबाट नै आउनु
These money are all donated by different countries. We have an agreement between earthquake victims and government.
This is the agreement paper.
This is the agreement paper
done between the government and the victims.
Oh. How long have you been here? How long have you lived?
1 month after the earthquake, these were built.
So I'm just wondering how she thinks things are progressing.
Looks like it's progressing, but haven't received money. How to
when
build?
do you think you will get the 2 lakh?
It's not confirmed because of title deeds missing. We have to spend money for it to get a new one.
So, just in a general sense, how are things compared to last year?
It's almost 20 months after the earthquake. As you have seen, now people are slowly building their houses again. As we can see, only houses are being built. Other than that, nothing has progressed.
अलिअलि घर निर्माण भइराखेको त्यही मात्रै परिवर्तन अरू केही पनि परिवर्तन भएको छैन यहाँ अहिलेसम्म
Because government have only provided rupees 25,000 and rupees 15,000 altogether, and then after we haven't received anything. And from foreign countries like America, Thailand, Canada, 2 or 3 times they have helped us, and recently from America, Vietnam have provided blanket and sack of rice, which we distributed to 200 people.
उहाँहरूबाट चाहिँ नि सिरक ने कम्बल चामल एक एक बोरा हामीले 200 जनाले बाँडे.
So has the government said when they'll be giving the rest of the money that they're supposed to?
Government have decided to provide, but we have almost 700 to 800 victims here, and in government list we found out 291 victims were missing, because of which they haven't decided to disperse the amount. Government are proposing to come in understanding, but because they are missing the names, we cannot do it. After the earthquake, within 5 years' time, 75% of the houses are rebuilt.
5 वर्षको दौरानमा अहिले 75% मान्छेले घर बनाइसकेको छ. तर सरकारसँग लिएर
But not by the help of the government. They only took rupees 50,000, although few have received promised amount because they have to have complete paperwork for their houses.
किन नक्स पास गर्नु परेको हुनाले मान्छेले लिन सकेन.
Those who have complete paperwork of the house receive the promised amount. But those who don't have complete paperwork didn't receive the money, but built the house selling their properties. As we see the houses inside, they are as it is, but you can see around here, the same people build their house here in new place. So this is the rebuilding process here. For reputation, for place to live in, although they don't have land for agriculture, but they need house. This is how rebuilding is going on inside the valley. Maybe 10 to 15 houses have received 3 lakh, other haven't. In average number of 1200 to 1500 houses. Only received rupees 50,000. No one have received rupees 2 lakh. As I mentioned before that the houses in the villages are old houses in which stair are of wood and old model, and after the earthquake people lived outside. Now to build on same place, now to build modern houses, those places are not sufficient. So they have their land, as you can see around, they have built new houses. So most of the people are outside the village. As we visit inside the village, as we see, those families are now shifted outside the village. Because of insufficient space, people are shifted outside the village. As you can see, this house I built after living according to the law, it's congested. After the earthquake, I planned and sold my land and built this house. Otherwise, this was same like the house behind, so I built in my area. There are new laws for the construction, so you can see my stairways, it's congested. This is the condition of the people here, because of which they are moving to a new place. For that land, people are slowly thinking of building this kind of small house and plan something, because property inside the village is necessary, because we have 4 religious community. We can't take our God from those 4 religious community to other place. So there should be house inside the village. Only for that reason people will rebuild their house, although it would be small, but they will build and preserve the place, they won't leave it. For now they will store their agricultural stuffs and other, or they will give it for rent. We can't say how long they will stay, because everybody have their own problems. since most of them have built their house in new place, because of which their old house remain untouched. When and how they will build, we can't say, but they will build for sure. Donations came in now, won't come through the municipalities, and only village appointed chairmen have the information. We have heard that the donations are received, but what it has been used for, we are unknown. And now we know that for one appointed chairman, municipality have separated budget of average rupees 2 crore. And where did they spend those budget, we are not informed. So in case of this Harisiti, we went to the government office and asked not to spend the budget in unnecessary project, but use it for important development which can last long. Darbar High School in Kathmandu, Dharahara, also built by the donations. Basantapur temples built by the donations.
बाहिरको देशबाट सहयोगबाट हो नि त्यो धराहरू बनाइराखेको अनि त्यहाँ हाम्रो बसन्तपुरमा चाहिँ नि मन्दिरहरू बनाइराखेको छ
About me, I have emotions for the people. As I have served in village development community for 10 years, and I encourage people not to bribe anyone. If the elected chairman couldn't do your work, come to me and I will help you without any money. So don't bribe anyone to complete your work. If there is involvement of local people, work would be good and long-lasting, and they can have benefit of the particular work they have done by their own labor. Always don't depend on others.
So where are we going, Amit? Up the hill. Okay.
What happened here as it relates directly to the earthquakes?
At the time of the earthquake, 4 people died over here, and few dozens were injured.
So the help that this village received immediately after the earthquake, was this primarily from the government or from non-government organizations?
People from different organizations had brought food here in nearby club, but distributed after 3 days, which was rotten and smelling bad, not good for health. It was best if they had distributed on the same day. They distribute on this Taplung village little late. Food were brought sometime at the day or at the evening. So think that they also don't had time to distribute as soon as they got the foods. But although they brought us the foods, so we thank them and also got 1 bag of rice for us.
So it seems that this place has hardly been touched. Are there any plans for rebuilding as of yet?
Actually, they are waiting for the Nepali government. So they haven't touched this thing because if they do the personally, then Nepal government won't help them to work on this rebuilding.
So you are expecting the Nepali government to help? Could you tell us a little about the history of the place before the earthquake?
Before the earthquake, this place was developing and people were generating income and were building new houses. But when the earthquake happened, I think people had to spend their money and also didn't had work. So now it would take about 10 years to recover because nobody had their houses. Only 2 or 3 houses are there, otherwise everybody are in temporary shelter.
Have you guys been affected by the fuel shortage?
Usually these things won't affect us. We need only rice, dal, salt, oils. So we don't need petrol because we walk. For cooking we use firewood. So we only need foods.
Could you tell us exactly what you were thinking and feeling?
I thought it is like this. Everybody's house are destroyed, but we don't have to suffer any death. Houses can be built later also. Living together with the family, not only our but everybody's houses are destroyed. Reliefs were also here, but I encourage not to look after those things, but generate income ourselves and build our house.
I'd like to hear from the wife how she felt during the earthquake.
What to say? I was scared and cried, screamed, gathered my children and gathered outside and called my husband.
So you're a part of the community council of some sort. What, if anything, what are they doing for the earthquake relief right now? Are you guys helping in the rebuilding of anybody in the village, or what have you guys been going through as the earthquake has struck?
Yes, we do. We have one community here in the village with 7 members. So whatever we receive for relief, we distribute them according to the name list we have collected. Government have provided 15,000 rupees and other organizations have provided zinc sheets for the temporary shelter, and I don't want to depend upon government because for how many could government can help. So I wanted to earn myself and recover my family from this disaster, and if I could, I want to help other also.
Have you seen any help from governments outside of Nepal, like from some other countries?
I think a group of people from one organization from Taiwan came and provided sleeping bags and provided medical camps.
Yeah, has any work been done on the house?
We did some maintenance by white cement, but it is also cracked, so afraid to live in.
Do they have any more plans for repairing this home so that they can actually live here again? Do they have any desire to live here again?
Now to bring down this house and rebuild a new one, maybe it would be small, but we'll build it strong.
So, are they expecting the tulak?
No, we will not rescind that. Our name is not there.
So they didn't even get the 15,000?
We only received some zinc sheet from our church. That's all, from which we have made a temporary shelter. It is hard, so it will take some time to build.
No idea.
Hey, Amit.
Yes.
I don't remember these little pink houses here last time, but apparently they've built a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I think you just mentioned they cost about $2,500 each.
$500 each.
And they've been set up by this religious organization, apparently a Hindu group.
Yeah.
No help from the government, apparently.
I haven't heard about that one.
Do they have to be? Are they replacement homes, or how does a family get one? I wonder.
Actually, this is not the replacement home because previous year we come over here, but we didn't see any houses over there. But now we can see the new houses in new place, and the old houses are as it is, I think. I can see.
So the old houses are still here, but they put up these little pink houses all over.
Yeah, in new place. Here also.
Little pink houses. Does he know why they're all pink?
Because the organization want to have their...
That's their thing.
Yeah, trademark. Yeah, they have done this one. So they did all at one
pink
color.
Houses.
Yeah, pink houses.
Blue windows.
Yeah, blue windows.
त्यस्तो पैसा त केही भनेको छैन
The organization helped to buy the materials for building this house and we built it ourselves. 3 years warranty.
Okay, so they have used this bamboo and they did the cemented plaster over this one, that one also. But yeah.
So this wall is this?
Yeah, this, but
cement.
Yeah, cemented. We thought that it was a brick. Yeah.
It feels strong.
Yeah. I thought it was a brick. So we have 2 bedrooms over here and 1.
So what were they living in before?
तपाईहरु अब यो बनाउनु भन्दा पहिला चाहिँ कहाँ बसिरहेको थियो in that tent over there. So this one is the place where they were staying before.
They were staying in there before?
Yeah.
Big difference. Electricity. Is there water in there? There's no water.
Where?
Inside the pink house. I didn't see a toilet or anything.
No. They need to make separate toilet.
Wow. Wonder what this Chabat is planning to do. How many more pink houses?
Especially we can see 35, I think. कतिवटा जति छ? कतिवटा यस्तो घर बनाएको छ? 32, 32 pink houses.
Look at that. Ask them if they knew how to build these things.
They taught us to build it.
Ask them, are they all the same or a little different?
They all look same.
The guy said they're not touching it? Wonder if he's here.
I don't know, I can't see. But now they are just doing.
Look at a lady. Just pitching it on her back by herself. Man.
This is their place. They are doing themselves.
So they finally decided it was time. Can we just let them know we were here last year and we wanted to see how things were progressing. And we talked to an individual last year and he said you weren't going to rebuild because you thought the government wouldn't help. But you're obviously rebuilding. So what changed?
We built temporary shelter by relief money which the government has provided, but now we are doing by ourselves.
Have they seen the tulak?
No.
Have they seen anything from the government or the tent perhaps? How much money was that?
We only got 25,000 rupees.
What's he think about the little pink houses?
It is same village as well as same area, but it was not here. Why? I don't know, but it would be good if we also had one.
How are things going since the last year?
Many reliefs were provided here, but for only that area down there, not here. We haven't received any relief from the government then.
So, what are the plans for the future?
If there will be support from the government or other organization, then we will build good house. If not, then what we can, we will do accordingly.
Well, how do you like that? Every time we get stuck, somebody comes and right.
So we were here about 1 year ago, and we'd like to know what has changed, if anything, both just in your house and your family and in this village.
Haven't been so much changes. It is same as before. Government haven't helped to build the house. They are having discussion to help people to build their house, but not yet processed.
And this is the government we're talking about. So you haven't seen any help at all. Has anybody in your village received any help from the government since last year?
They haven't given any relief after what they have done a year ago.
Are you hopeful that you'll receive something from the government? Like, do you think you will?
They have said they will provide. Let's see.
No. Are you waiting for something?
They are not sure.
Not sure what to do.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Within this 5-year period, there are not so much changes. Although we can see new building around, that is only the changes. There was my old house here. It was destroyed, so build this one. There are changes as we can see new houses, but we can still see old houses as well, not touched yet. Think 80% is done. This house is built after the earthquake with 3 lakh money that they received from the government.
They built it with a 3 lakh.
Others have received, but we haven't. We were missed when they were listing the names. We were not here. We just repaired the damage with the cements. Because of the recent earthquake again, it's damaged as it was before. Can see the same cracks as before. We repaired outside and it just cracked from outside. Because the ground floor is built only by mud and down cement plaster. And from next story, maybe I guess 4 to 5 lakh is not sufficient even for 1-story house. What to do? Thinking about how to gather money and also thinking about getting loans as well. Let's see. Don't have any place to get the loan.
So this is why we need the 4-wheel drive.
ट्याक्स काटेर जानुपर्ने पेनै छोडेछ के पेन भाबा दिनु न कति रुपैयाँ 50 रुपैयाँ हो जम्मा आउँदैन पर्छ पर्दैन पेन छ मेरो पेन
दाना चढ्ने यहाँ अलिकति यहाँ
But we have tea and cake. It's going. How you doing there? Having fun?
Yeah, having fun.
We having fun?
Yes, yes.
Watch your head. Watch your head. We're going through the swing? We're going through the swing.
यो डोरी है डोरी.
Watch your neck. Oh my goodness.
Namaste.
Namaste.
You are welcome to our village.
Thank you.
Please have a seat.
Thank you.
This type of crack.
Yeah.
Crack.
Yeah.
Inside, outside.
Jai Mosi. Jai Mosi.
So, where are we today?
डिस्ट्रिक्ट गोर्खा र सानो दर्बुङ सैमुरे.
Could they tell us a little about the history of the place before the earthquake?
Before the earthquake, also this place was dangerous because of the floods and landslides in monsoon season. Now after the earthquake, this place is more dangerous than before. And Nepal government also think this place is dangerous.
Okay, so we see that all of these houses are still standing. What damage, if any, has taken place since the earthquake?
Even though the houses here looks fine, the foundation have become weak because these houses are made of mud and bricks. Before it was attached together, but now it is separated, and also there are aftershocks happening. So we haven't dared to stay in these houses. Instead, we are living in the temporary shelters, and government also advise us that these houses are not good to live in.
I'm amazed at how this is put together.
Has any damage taken place to your home or the church?
In church, there are simple cracks, but in my house, there are cracks from top to bottom. So I was afraid to stay in, so I built the temporary shelter and living there.
Do you have any plans for repairing your home?
We are in confusion. Government provided us 15,000 and told us for now build a temporary shelter and later we will provide you according to your damages. But we haven't expected.
What were you able to do with that 15,000 rupees?
15,000 was only enough for buying the zinc sheets, and for building we had to spend our own money.
So you mentioned that the Nepali government has said that they will offer you more money to help rebuild your home, but that you don't expect it. What will you do if you don't get the money from the Nepali government that they promised?
We are in confusion, so saying, God, you know everything. Building or not building, everything is in your hand. We handle it in God's hand. What to do, we don't know anybody.
You know, where you expect to see the most destruction, the houses are mostly standing.
Yes, but there is more than meets the eye. Those houses aren't safe, though folks will move back in when it gets cold, I bet, dangerous or not.
Tough choice. Getting crushed or freezing to death.
It has been 5 years after the earthquake, and within these 5 years, it has been good development. As soon as the earthquake happened, we received many aids. And after government provided us 3 lakh. For this 3 lakh, there are some who are still in confusion, but whoever had their names had received. And with this 3 lakh rupees, everybody built their house with 2 rooms and living in. And it's same for me as well. With the 3 lakh that I received from the government, I built the house with 2 rooms, but still not complete because money is finished. Maybe I believe 70% is done here. We received aids from governments. Once we received 15,000 rupees for every house and received another 10,000 rupees as well.
यो त तपाईको पुरानो घर हैन यो पुरानो घर हैन यो
पहिले बाहरु पाउन जमिन माथि नै सुटाउँथ्यो के
माथि चलाउनु भएको छैन अहिले पनि माथि चलाउनु भएको छैन अहिले पनि
अहिले त सुटाउँदैन बाहरलाई
होइन तपाईँहरू पनि जानुहुन्न माथि
जान्छ सुत्छ
ए
सुत्नु हामी त किन पाहुना नसुताएको
यो के अब टालटुल
भने भत्किन्छ कि मर्यो भने बेचेको हुन्छ त्यहाँ कता कता चर गएको थियो कि
यो के ऊ मर्मत पनि गर्नु भएन केही पनि
केही पनि गरेको छैन
त्यत्तिकै बस्नु भएको छ
त्यत्तिकै बसिएको छ
अनि ऊ पैसाले चाहिँ नि यहाँनिर बनाउनु भएको
पैसाले चाहिँ त्यही बनाएको
यो चाहिँ नि के घर पहिला थियो कि
थिएन यही जग्गा बारी थियो
Well, here's a pile of bricks for you.
Yeah, the brick factory. Ta-da!